Hello, hello. Welcome back. It's lesson number 3 on Intro to Fingerstyle with me, Sammy, and Flight Ukulele. Okay, so for the last 2 sessions, we've been focusing on 3 particular patterns. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, mate, go and watch them. But if you do, you're in the right place. Okay, so today we're going to upgrade a little bit. So we're still going to lock in this right hand pattern, these 3 right hand patterns that we talked about. But we're going to take them over just a simple chord progression, but more movement on the left hand to see how we count with that stress. So, we're going to have a C chord. You know that, kid. We're going to have a G chord. We're going to have an A minor chord. Oh, and we're going to have an F chord. Wait a minute, I think I know that song. Yeah, it's about like 80 songs, mate. That's why. Okay, it's the most common chord progression in the world, so it's good. The chances of you encountering it are very high, so if we can play some nice fingerstyle patterns over them, that means you can already start doing your own fingerstyle versions of songs that you love. Who loses? No one. Let's talk about it. Okay, so back to pattern number 1. Okay, so pattern number 1 was 3, 2, 4, 1. That was our pattern. Thumb, index, thumb, middle. Now, we're going to start off with a normal mode. And then if you're finding this all a bit, you're like, yeah, this is a bit easy, I want to ramp it up a little bit. I've got a slightly harder variation for you because I'm a terrible human. Right, you ready? So what's going to happen this time is we're going to play 1 bar per chord, which means we should be able to get 2 patterns, because if I was holding a C chord, it would mean I go 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, which are 8th notes, which means I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that is what we're going to do for every single chord. Okay, so if I play it through as 8th notes, just want to see. G chord, A minor, and then F. So a nice, calm tempo, but those chords hit quite fast, right? So we need to make sure you're very comfortable with those chord changes. Now, let's break it down very slowly, okay? So again, it's going to be 2 patterns per chord. So we're going to go 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, change, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, change, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, and then change. All right, there we go. Now, some of you might be able to breeze past those chords, and others of you are like, oh, Sammy, mate, I hate G. It's literally the worst. We don't get on with them. If there are any chord changes that you struggle with, the easiest way to practice these is, first of all, looking at basically what fingers are similar between the 2 chords. For example, on a C chord, you use your ring finger on the 3rd fret. Then when we come to a G chord, that also has, it's a different string, but it also has the ring finger on the 3rd fret, okay? So that's really, really close by. So when moving, you need to focus on moving that finger first, because it's pretty much already in the right place. As soon as you can get that one finger in, training the other 2 to fall either side of it is much easier. But if you come at it from an angle where you're like, oh no, I've got to attach all 3 fingers, that's much slower, because we have no sort of, it's almost like filling in the blanks a little bit. As soon as I have one finger down, my finger's like, oh well, I can't go on that string, so I've got to go either side of it. And they learn a bit quicker, okay? So that's the way I'd always look at your chord changes, okay? Just look at what fingers are very similar. Oh, and one of my favorite chord changing exercises, by favorite, I mean my students curse me, but put a minute timer on your phone. It's a minute, mate. What are you going to do? Nothing. And just sit there and see how many successful chord changes you can get in there, right? So if you're watching TV or you don't want to disturb people, you can do this. I'm not strumming at all, okay? If you're not, obviously just put the strums in. But if it's late at night, or like I said, you're watching TV or something, just sit there. Timer goes off, you put it away. You will get way more chord changes done in that minute than you will of God knows how much practice over the different songs, okay? So it's just reinforcing that muscle memory. I talk about muscle memory a lot, and it's because it's literally the key to everything, okay? You need good muscle memory. Okay, right. Now, I talked a little bit about also that if you want to make this pattern hard for you, say the opposite, and you're like, Sammy, no, this is really easy, mate. All right, cool. So we're going to play the exact same thing. We're still going to play 1 bar per chord, but instead of playing 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're going to play 16th notes, which there's 16 of them in total, which is 1 E-ander, 2 E-ander, 3 E-ander, 4 E-ander. Now, that's basically, that can almost be broken down into 4 blocks. 1 E-ander, 2 E-ander, 3, etc. So that means, actually, one of your patterns, 1 E-ander, fits a nice 4 block there. Music likes 4s. So that means instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, if I was keeping the same tempo, but 16th notes, I end up going 1 E-ander, 2 E-ander, 3 E-ander, 4 E-ander. Yeah, see, that's, whoa, that's much more intense, right? But if you played the piece with 16ths, much more intense, but only if you're up for the challenge, okay? If not, we keep it to 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, right. You can do, I would aim for going around those chords once. Stop, have a breather, sorry microphone, and then basically tackle it again, right? I reckon do that about 3 times and then give your hands a breather, or try it a little bit faster, whatever you've got time for. Now, let's talk about pattern number 2. So he was still alternate, and pattern number 2 was 4, 2, 3, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1. That's what we had. If we're playing 8th notes, that means we get 2 patterns per bar, and we're playing each chord for 1 bar. So we end up going 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 1. And that's how that should sound, okay? So again, tempo is very much up to you, okay? We just got to make sure that it's all good. Our chord changes, we don't stutter, our right hand doesn't fall down or anything like that. All right, should we try that again? Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There we go. Okay, so like I said, practice it around that. Have a breather. If you get to the point where that is getting far too easy, like I said, we're going to upgrade it. You can play it with 16ths, which I'll show you in a second, or try and take the chord progression round twice, okay? You'll really notice the more and more and more you take the chords round, right, the more hopefully your brain starts to disengage and your muscle memory takes over. And that will show you how comfortable you are. If you can disappear and your muscle memory takes over, you know you've done a good amount of practice and it's trained in there, right? If we, as soon as we start doing it, we panic and we put it all together, we just need to keep it slowly and do basically have our muscle memory engaged again. Right, let's play the same thing, but 16 notes. So that would be 1 E-ander, 2 E-ander, 3 E-ander, 4 E-ander, and that will mean we have 4 patterns per bar. Okay, so you ready? Here's 16th notes. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Whew, he's fast. Okay, so technically you don't have to play it as fast as I can. You can start with 16th notes a bit slower. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, if you like. Okay, it just means we get more patterns squished within the bar. But if this were a piece of music, basically the way that it works, if you don't know, if I was playing quarter notes, I'd be going 1, 2, 4. So that'd be my tempo. 1, 2. So then 8th notes would make it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So twice as quick. The BPM stays the same. 1 and 2 and 3. And then 16ths, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, but that's still 2, 3, 4. That constant quarter note feel, it still exists, and that's where the pulse still lives, okay? So by making it 16th notes, we're not saying, oh, do the same and make it slower. It's fitting the same amount of information into the same space, which results in a quicker pattern. Right, we've got one more to talk about, haven't we? We've got pattern number 3. Okay, so reminder, pattern number 3 on my C chord, we're going to have 1, 4, 3, 2. Middle, thumb, thumb, index. What a nice kid. Okay, so let's take our pattern round. 8th notes again, 1 bar per chord, so 2 patterns on C, 2 patterns on G, 2 patterns on A minor, and 2 patterns on F. Let's do it. Okay. 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that's all of our progression on 8th notes. So you have a breather. And then we're going to try that again, but I'm going to count rhythmically this time. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Whew. There we go. Okay. Again, same rules apply, and again, if you want that as 16ths, this is one of my favourite as 16ths because it sounds so bloody intense. Let's try it as 16ths. So we would end up going 1 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a 3. It's such a wonderful pattern. I really could definitely one of my favorites, okay? But it just sounds like waterfalls, raindrops. I don't know. There's some water reference in there. Maybe I need to pee. I'm not sure. But that's basically it, okay? It's such a nice sound. Okay, right. Take those. And again, this was me utilizing one of the most common chord progressions. If you want, what I'd suggest even is having a look at songs that you like. Just make sure that the left hand isn't too demanding, okay? If we have demanding chords that we have to think about or you're not quite happy with the changes, it'll take too much distraction from the right hand, and that's no good at the moment. We want to keep everything nice and easy on the left, okay? So have a look at some covers that you like to play or things that you like to play and apply it to those chords as well, okay? These patterns are all universal. They should be able to be applied to whatever you like, okay? And that's great. Learning songs is massively fun, but whatever techniques you learn from them, you want to be able to extrapolate that and apply it to something else, okay? It's no good just leaving it for that one song, is it? Because then, as much as we can play that song, it's beautiful, but you want to take that skill, that strumming pattern, that fingerstyle, whatever, and apply it to something else and log it in your, hey, this is a list of techniques I now can do. All right, as usual, thank you so much for listening. Have a great time and practice lots. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.